Hello, welcome to this episode of Sports Bets for Free. My name is Scott Jenkins, your host, just a local sports bettor here in Phoenix, Arizona, and hopefully today with our bets and your bets, it's going to be another profitable day for you. 2025 Big 12 football preview. We have put out SEC, ACC so far. We'll hit the Big 12, and then the last episode for college football preview will be the Big 10. Two monster conferences here. 16. Well, we got 16 teams in the Big 12, 18 in the Big 10. I guess they're not going to change the name, obviously, as it's kind of their trademark here. But we're going to run through approximately where they're going to finish, give you a couple ideas. We do have some win totals in every conference that we have played as well. Going to give you those. But just kind of a nice conference as we got, August 23rd is week 0. And the Big 12 actually has a huge conference game in Ireland, week 0 that we will get into. August 30th, week 1. So we're about a month away from college football being underway as it gets started a few weeks before the NFL does as well. But football, obviously a monster for most of everybody out there that does any type of sports betting or wagering. And if you're on our Discord channel, which I always highly recommend hopping on, which there will be a link to it. You'll see in the comments section. It's a whop.com. That'll be the checkout link to get in there. Then we'll send you the Discord invite. You guys would be sitting on these win totals and everything for quite some time. Now, when it does deal with season-long bets, just remember, if this is your first time doing like win totals or something like that, make smaller plays here. There's no reason to go absolutely nuts and crazy on plays that aren't going to pay off until December-ish or so. So just keep that in mind. Same thing with NFL bets. Stuff that's going to take a long time to pay out, don't put a majority of your bankroll there. Put it on something that's going to get a quicker return. These are kind of like long-term investments. They're also quite a bit of fun. This is one of my favorite things, the season-long plays. As you go back and you look at everything, you're like, what the hell? Or, man, I was really smart. When you get to the end of the tickets. So just keep that in mind as well. Let's get started with the Big 12. Like I said, 16 teams, roughly the bottom of this conference. We're going to kind of run through. UCF's going to be there. A lot of places have them 16th in this conference. I don't know if they're going to be 16th, but 12 through 16, I think, is probably where they'll fall. Scott Frost, obviously, coming back on this one. Steve Cooper to get the new offensive coordinator there. They do have a little bit of a quarterback battle with Cam Franchard, Tyvon Jacobson, and Shakuri Brown as well. And if I'm mispronouncing those names, I greatly apologize for all you UCF fans out there. Defense is going to be issue. They gave up 31 points a game last season. That's definitely going to have to improve. The running game was a monster for a lot of last year. So if they can get that running game going like they did last year, at least that's going to help. And need a little bit of help on that defense in order to get some wins. 15, Arizona, they're probably going to fall somewhere in this 14 to 16 range, I think is where Arizona. Unfortunately, Brennan, a new head coach, 4-8. They lose McMillan to the NFL as well. Seth Doege, a new play caller, I guess. Big changes on defense. Danny Gonzalez is coming over to be the defensive coordinator there. They gave up almost 34 points a game last year. That was the big deal. And offensively, they weren't as dynamic as we thought they were going to be, especially with McMillan on the outside, one of the better receivers in college football. It definitely didn't play out that way. But Arizona's probably going to finish in the bottom 2-3 of the Big 12. Next team up, West Virginia, and I apologize for all the West Virginia fans. I know we have quite a loyal following for people that are on West Virginia, but probably going to fall somewhere between that 10 and 16 mark. Rich Rod, as he's loved and hated in West Virginia. Pretty divisive, pretty split on whether or not you like the new head coach there or not. But he did do a fantastic job while in West Virginia the last time, and his other stops have not been so good. So maybe this is it. Zach Alley comes over for defensive coordinator from Oklahoma. Obviously they gave up like 32 points a game last year. So definitely a stress on the defense here is I think what they're going to have to get done Offensive lines revamped, and Jalen Henderson and Nico Marshall. And they also went to the transfer portal for a lot of receivers. I don't know. I think Rich Rod will get this program kind of turned around and get it to where it's in the top half of the Big 12. I just don't think it's going to be this year. Next one up, Oklahoma State, a lot of them at 13. It had an 0-9 mark in the Big 12 last season, winning 3 non-conference games, but did not win a game in the Big 12. Give a 40-point, a little over 40 points per game is what they did. So Gundy in a little bit of trouble there. New offensive coordinator and Doug Meacham for Oklahoma State. You got 5 new starters on the offensive line. They went real hard at the transfer portal. The transfers are definitely going to have to make a big play here. I don't really expect much out of Oklahoma State. Unless they can figure out how to score 30-plus a game, they're definitely in trouble. Cincinnati at the 12 mark. Scott Satterfield taking over there in Cincy, 3-9 and 23, 5-7 and 24. So getting closer to a bowl game. Brendan Sorsby is kind of that's what Cincinnati's basically holding their hat on in order to make a bowl game. 6-6 is probably going to be a really good record here for Cincy in this one. Number 11, Houston, Willie Fritz, rebuilding last year, 4-8. Normally, year 2 when he's taken over programs have been really good. Last year, Houston's offense, a school known for offense, was god-awful in the conference, averaging 14 points a game on that one. But Connor Wegman, the transfer from Texas A&M, is what they're going to be relying on. I'll be really honest with you. I didn't like him at A&M. Maybe, new scenery makes him look like a different quarterback, but a quarterback that's, not all there. Not one of the top ones in this conference for sure. 10, Colorado. So 9-4 for Deion last year, obviously with Shedeur and Travis Hunter. And the Shedeur thing happens. And by the way, congratulations to Deion for beating bladder cancer as well, as that came out earlier today when they were recording this. So had a fan, I'm glad to see him back. He's had a lot of health issues. So I hope Deion gets better. He is great for the conference. He's great for college football. He's very divisive, no question about it, but he is good for college football and the players on that one. So obviously the offense was fantastic. They get Caden Salter, transfer over from Liberty for quarterback, because they don't, maybe Julian Lewis, the true freshman that they snagged. Julian Lewis was the number 1 prospect for like 2 years at a minimum. When he was a freshman, I think he threw for over 50 touchdown passes down in Georgia. Julian Lewis was a stud. So getting him, I think, is big. Now, is he going to play year 1? I don't know, maybe a little bit. Next year, I think, is where you really see Colorado kind of take off. Hopefully, Deion's health holds up and they're good. Defense has got to get better for them. I think offensively, they'll be fine down the road here a little bit. Could be a little rough one here for Colorado. Do not expect them to win 10 games or 9 games for sure in that one. But do expect them to have, I think they definitely can still make a bowl on that one. I don't think that's the issue for them. By the way, we did miss one a little bit. Houston over 5.5 wins, as we think they got a chance to get there. Now, a lot of spots have them at 6.5. A little juicier to take them at 5.5, but I think they end actually at 6-6. It's kind of where they end up, but should be in pretty decent shape though. Like I said, it's going to boil down to what Deion can figure out for this Colorado Buffalo team. Next one up, 9, BYU. So second trip through the Big 12 for them. Sataki's squad is they played well last year. BYU was fantastic, 11-2. Now, they're going to be a little bit down, the quarterback, Jake, and I pronounce it wrong probably, Retzloff, did get dismissed on that one. So he's out. And let's see. We got to, quarterbacks are going to be the problem here for BYU. We do like BYU's win total, though. I mean, we mentioned Houston earlier. BYU over 6.5 wins, I think, is an excellent play if you're looking at the win totals here. I think they finished with 7, possibly 8 wins here for BYU, even though definitely have some quarterback issues. 8, TCU actually finished really, really strong in 24. Josh Hoover coming back, threw for over 300 yards per game last year. So they went to the transfer portal to get receivers, and they got some. Jordan Dyer out of Idaho, Manjack out of Houston. They're going to, need a little bit more on the ground. They were well under 4 yards per carry last season on the ground. Defense getting a little bit better as well. So the defense ended up 42nd nationally, which in the Big 12 conference is actually not that god awful. A lot of teams can score in this conference for sure. Expect TCU to make a little bit of noise. I don't know if they've got enough to get into the Big 12 title game, but I think they do have enough to make it, where they're there towards the end of the year. TCU over 6.5 wins as well is kind of what we really like in this one. So TCU 8, right around the 8 spot, about halfway through the conference, but should be top half of the conference. Number 7, Kansas, Jaden Daniels. Mr. Daniels, if you can go without turning the ball over, your team wins a lot more games. They had a lot of hype going into 24 after what Daniels did in 23, and unfortunately they blew a lot of games due to turnovers early. Now, later on in the season, they were pretty damn good. I will say this, Lance Leipold, one of my favorite coaches in college football. I think they should be in pretty good shape here. Definitely, I think, top half of the conference in this one here. Daniels, like I said, looking to, senior season. This is a make or break for him. Obviously, he's wanting to get drafted in the NFL as well. The defense still in transition as they can't seem to figure that part out. The line, they've got 3 new starters. The Iowa transfer, Daniel Hishaw, and LeSean Williams should be a really good backfield. Kansas should be able to run the ball, and Daniel should be able to throw it. So offensively, I like them. Defense is definitely going to be the issue for them this season. Number 6, Utah. Oh, by the way, before I forget, let's double check. Kansas under 7.5 wins. I think they finished at 7-5 is where they kind of finish. But they do have a preseason schedule that's a little tight, to say the least, on that one. So that's why we got Kansas under 7.5 wins. Utah. I think Utah could fall out of the top half of this conference. Defense is fantastic, right? Cam Rising, gone. Kyle Whittingham, definitely one of the best minds out there when it comes to head coaches in college football. What are they going to do? What are they, 23 points a game last year, which is not going to get her done. The offensive line still good. Defense is fantastic. They're going to keep things close. The question is, do they have a quarterback that can get anything done, right? That's going to be quarterback Devin Dampier from New Mexico. That's who they're going to be relying on. So we'll see if they can get that done offensively. If they can, Utah can be a menace because they are a different type of team. They are not like these top 5 teams that do give up a lot of points. Utah's not. It's going to be a battle every time you go there. Number 5, Baylor. So they started off 2-4 last year and then just came on like crazy and finished 8-5 with the bowl loss to LSU. No blame in that. They're not as talented as teams in the SEC, especially the top half on that one there. Sawyer Robertson is looking at quarterbacks. So they do have a returning quarterback, which I think is huge in college football. Baylor's they're not really good at – well, how do I put this? The problem with Baylor always seems to be every season is what's their identity? Do they run the ball, throw the ball? Do they play good defense? They're kind of decent at a lot of different aspects. They're decent defensively. They're decent offensively. They're defensive running. They're defensive throwing. but they're not outstanding at any one particular item. So do like Baylor. They make games interesting. They tend to have a lot of overs as well, as those games seem to go crazy. Number 4, Iowa State. My alma mater should be in the top 4. Would not be surprised if they're playing for a Big 12 championship game here. Do like the Cyclones. They have a huge test week 0 in Ireland against Kansas State, who I think is probably going to win this conference. But it's going to – whoever loses that game is definitely going to be behind the 8 ball in the Big 12. Iowa State, 11 wins last season, finished 15th. Rocco Beck is back at quarterback, 30 points plus per game. Beck threw for 273 yards a game as well. And they did lose some high-end receivers, though, no question about it. Chase Sewell from East Carolina, Xavier Townsend from UCF are going to be counted on those roles after Higgins and Noel are out as they go to the NFL. I like Iowa State's offense. They should be okay. The defense last year, not that great, actually behind TCU, which I don't know if that's really going to make you feel too good on your defensive side of the ball. They were almost 60th, I think, nationally, which, at middle of the pack. They've got to be better defensively, but they need to put up that 30-plus points a game, and they can get something done, I believe, there as well. Matt Campbell is one of the best coaches in college football. I'm surprised, honestly, that he hasn't taken a big-time, SEC job or something to that effect. But the Cyclones are happy to have him. Keep Matt Campbell happy. Let him retire there, for Christ's sake. And they should be in good shape, right? Number 3, Texas Tech. The monster offseason for Tech. This might be a little bit high for him here at 3, but they should be really competitive. They spent a lot of NIL money, on that one as well. So quarterback Berin Morton should be ready to rock and roll back at full strength after the shoulder injury. Let's see here. We've also got Reggie Virgil along with Micah Hudson coming back as well. A lot of transfers as well. Like I said, they really went out in the offseason trying to build this thing up. Tech should be better offensively than they were last season. It was kind of a weird year for Tech. Normally we see Tech score 40 to 50 points a game, and the defense gives up 60. Last year, defense was a little bit better. They kept games a lot closer as well. Number 2, Arizona State. This boils down the Sun Devils. It's all about Sam Leavitt. If Sam Leavitt is as good as we think he can be, he's going to be an absolute monster, and Arizona State's going to have an excellent chance to win this damn conference here. Kenny Dillingham, one of the best coaches in the conference. Man, has he turned this program around. We're down here in the Phoenix area, and in Tempe, you couldn't give those tickets away for college football games. Now, all of a sudden, they're packed. You can't even get one, right, on that one there. Obviously, Cam Scadaboo's gone. That was their big horse last year. Sam Leavitt, being the redshirt freshman, definitely relied on him quite a bit. He said he's playing for the Giants, but we expect Leavitt to have a monster, to be really honest. So on that one there as well. Receiver Jordan Tyson there. Army transfer Kane Odo and Kyson Brown. 4 starters on the back. 4 out of the 5 starters back on the offensive line, which I think is a huge deal as well. But we do like Arizona State's offense. If the defense can hold up, good things can happen. And one we think that's going to win this whole dang Big 12, Kansas State. Chris Kleiman, another great coach in the Big 12. He's been really, really good. Avery Johnson is the deal here. It all boils down to Avery. The kid has got mad skills, right? He threw for 255 yards a game, 32 touchdowns, rushing and throwing the ball. Matt Wells is the new offensive coordinator. To be really honest, Avery Johnson could be one of the better quarterbacks in the country on this one. Jace Brown is also back, their top receiving option from last year. They need a little bit of weapons, that's for damn sure. The defense, like I said, not as dominant as Kansas State defenses have been, but still really good, good enough. They're not a Utah defense, They're not going to hold you to 15 points, but they can keep it at 24 or less. Let Avery Johnson go crazy on the offensive side. So let's give you the rundown of the win totals in the Big 12. We're going to start off with Kansas State. Over 8.5 wins. We love that play. I think they get to 9. I think they beat Iowa State week 0 as well to get started as well. Then we'll get to so as we roll through this, sorry about this. BYU, we went over earlier, over 6.5 wins. Arizona State, over 8.5 wins. Let's see here. And TCU, we mentioned, over 6.5 wins. Houston, over 5.5 wins. Kansas, under 7.5 wins. So that's the season-long win totals we really like in the Big 12. I think there's excellent opportunities on all of those. I think the Big 12 conference is going to be a lot of fun. SEC and the Big 10 obviously get all the headlines. The ACC, besides Clemson, is one of the most boring conferences, I think, this year, as we've got a lot of turmoil throughout. But the Big 12 should be a lot of fun. Probably going to get one team only into the college football playoff. Maybe if Kansas State and Arizona State have excellent seasons, maybe they get 2 in, but more than likely probably only 1. Arizona State got in last year, and they played well. I mean, they took Texas to the edge there. Texas came out early and whipped up on them, and then all of a sudden, here's this scrappy ASU team giving them all kinds of problems. And ASU had an excellent chance to win that game. So this is the third conference out of the 4 we went through here with the Big 12 2025 football preview. If you like the content you're seeing here and want to see some more, make sure you give us make sure you subscribe to us here on YouTube, as we're just posting this video here on YouTube only. As we run through all this stuff here. So make sure you check, if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more football coverage, baseball, basketball, make sure you subscribe to the channel. That way you get notified every time we drop a new episode like this one. Also, we do use Outlier.com for a ton of our research as well. We'll have the link in the comments section. So they do have a free trial available as well. If you want to check out Outlier, it's an excellent betting app. Not only does it give you all kinds of different options, betting, trends, all that kind of stuff, but it also tells you where the best odds are for that bet. So you might be looking at a play that's minus 130 at one book and minus 170 at one book. It's going to let you know which book has the better option. So Outlier.com, the Outlier app, will also be in the comment section. There'll be a link there. Also, Discord channel is available to all you out there. As I mentioned earlier, we will have the WAP checkout link. Once you do sign up, we will send you a Discord invite as well and get you in there. There's well over a couple hundred members that are talking sports, stocking sports bets. Not only all my bets, there's also a couple other cappers that are in there. And then the guys are giving out, everybody that's following along gives out a bunch of plays as well. So if you like action, the Sports Bets for Free Discord channel is where it's at. And like I said, the WAP checkout link will be in the comment section as well. We do appreciate everybody's support as always, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode.